Welcome to the first session of the chapter Morphology of Flowering Plants, that is the Angiosperms. Dear children, what are the different parts of a plant? We can see roots, stem, leaves, buds, flower, fruit, seeds. There are different parts in a plant, of which the most beautiful part of a plant is the flower. So in this chapter, we are going to study about the morphology of the flowering plant. What is a flower or how it is developed? The flower is a modified shoot. We know shoot is the above ground part of the plant, and the flower is a modified shoot wherein the shoot apical meristem which is present at the tip of the shoot, and this function of the shoot apical meristem is to produce leaves. And when this shoot apical meristem it terminates into a floral meristem, it produces a flower. We know a stem has nodes and internodes. The node is the region of the stem from where the leaves arises, and the region between two consecutive nodes is called as an internode. In the case of the development of the flower, the internodes do not elongate. And the axis of the flower gets condensed. And the apex produces, that apex means the tip of the shoot produces various floral appendages. It produces a large number of floral appendages laterally at successive nodes. Instead of leaves from the nodes, many floral appendages are produced. And the shoot tip transforms into a flower. Is it clear? A flower or a bunch of flower. If the shoot tip terminates into a flower, the flower is called as a solitary flower. In this picture, we can see a solitary flower in which the shoot tip terminates into a flower. So, when the shoot meristem at the tip converts into a floral meristem, a flower is produced. And the internodes do not elongate, and instead of leaves from the nodes, the floral appendages are produced at successive levels laterally. And if the shoot meristem converts into a flower, it produces a solitary flower. Whereas some of the flowers we can see is in the form, it is seen as a cluster of flowers. And such a cluster of flowers which is arranged on the floral axis is called as an inflorescence. The arrangement of a cluster of flowers on the floral axis is called as an inflorescence. Based upon whether the apex of the floral axis gets converted into a flower or it continues to grow, there are two types of inflorescence. The inflorescence is the arrangement of a cluster of flowers on the floral axis. And based upon whether the apex converts into a flower or it continues to grow, it is having two types of inflorescence. It is called as the racemose inflorescence, and the second type is called as the cymose inflorescence. The racemose inflorescence is the type in which the main axis continues to grow. We can see the main axis continues to grow and new flowers are produced from the tip. So flowers are born laterally in an acropetal succession. What do you mean by acropetal succession? The younger ones at the tip and the older ones at the base. That is called as an acropetal succession. Why it is seen in an acropetal succession? Because the floral axis continues to grow, producing new younger flowers at the tip. So the arrangement of a cluster of flowers in an acropetal succession is called as a racemose inflorescence. Whereas in the case of the cymose inflorescence, the apex converts into a flower. So the main axis terminates into a flower. We can see this is the main axis which has terminated into a flower. Hence, there is no continuous growth of the floral axis. Hence, the growth is limited. And the flowers are grown in a basipetal order. Basipetal order means the older one at the tip and the younger ones at the base. So we can see the older one at the tip and the younger ones at the base. So this is called as the cymose inflorescence, in which the main axis terminates into a flower and it is having limited growth, and the arrangement of flowers is in the basipetal order. So two types of inflorescence we have to learn is the racemose inflorescence, in which the arrangement of flowers is acropetal, whereas in cymose inflorescence the arrangement of flowers is basipetal. Now the flower is a reproductive unit in the angiosperms. We use flowers for different purposes. It can be used for worshipping purpose, for offering, for decoration, for making a flower carpet. But what is the purpose of a flower to a plant? It is the reproductive unit. That means it is meant for sexual reproduction. The flower has a stalk. The stalk of the flower on which the flower is born is called as a pedicel. So the stalk of the flower is called as the pedicel, and its swollen end is called as the thalamus. We can see the pedicel terminates to form a swollen end, and the swollen end is called as the thalamus, or the other word for it is the receptacle. The reduced leaf, which is found at the base of the pedicel, this is the base of the pedicel where we can see the reduced leaf, and this reduced leaf is called as a bract. So flowers with bracts are called as bracteate flowers, whereas flowers which lack a bract is called as abracteate flowers. So based on the presence of bract means a reduced leaf at the base of the pedicel, which is the stalk of the flower. There are two types of flowers, the bracteate flowers and the abracteate flowers. The flower has 4 whorls which are arranged on top of the thalamus. Thalamus means the swollen portion of the pedicel is called as a thalamus. There are 4 kinds of whorls. The first whorl is the calyx. Second is the corolla, third is the andrecium, and fourth is the gynoecium. Of these 4 whorls, calyx and corolla, they are called as the accessory organs. Accessory organs which help in the reproductive process. Whereas andrecium and gynoecium, they are called as the reproductive organs. Calyx and corolla, they are the first 2 words, they are called as the accessory whorls or accessory organs. Whereas andrecium and gynoecium, they are called as the reproductive organs. We can see this is the calyx, this is the corolla, the colored portion is called as the corolla, and the male reproductive organ is called as the andrecium, and this swollen portion is called as the gynoecium. So from outside to inside, from outer the outermost wall is a calyx, which is followed by corolla, which is again followed by a wall of andrecium, and the innermost wall is the gynoecium. In some flowers like lily, the calyx and the corolla, in some flowers we can see it is distinct. We can differentiate the calyx and the corolla. Whereas in some flowers like lily, the corolla and calyx are not distinct. And such a flower in which the corolla and calyx is not distinct is called as the perianth. This is the perianth, in which the corolla and calyx are not distinctive. When a flower has both the reproductive organs, that is andrecium and gynoecium, it is called as a bisexual flower. Whereas if a flower is having only one type of reproductive organ, what can it be called as? If both are present, it is called as bisexual. But if only one is present, it is called as a unisexual flower.